Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Roman with Pro Football Exclusive, and I have a special video for you guys today. My top 10 fantasy football quarterbacks for 2013. As now on screen, you can see my top 5 already. Drew Brees, Cam Newton, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady. Not in that particular order, but here's my order. I'm going to start off with number 1. Aaron Rodgers is my top 10. My number 1 top 10 fantasy football quarterback for 2013. And if you just run over his stats real quick, for 2012, he averaged 20 points per game and had 326 points total last season, which was second, I believe, in the NFL for quarterbacks. Number 2. My number 2 fantasy football quarterback for 2013 is Peyton Manning. In 2012, he averaged 18 points per game and had 292 points total, which was in the top 5. My number 3 top 10 quarterback for fantasy football quarterback for 2013 is Drew Brees. He averaged 20 points per game last season and had 331 points total, which was number 1 in the NFL for quarterbacks. My number 4 fantasy football quarterback is Tom Brady. Tom Brady averaged 19 points per game and had 316 points total, which was also in the top 5 for fantasy football quarterbacks. My number 5 quarterback for fantasy football is Cam Newton. Last season, he averaged 19.5 points per game and had 312 points total, which was also in the top 5. My number 6 quarterback for top 10 in fantasy football is on screen. As you can see, it may come as a surprise to some people, is Tony Romo. He has the easiest schedule among quarterbacks this season against defenses, so you should pick him up if you have the chance. Tony Romo's a great quarterback. He puts up numbers, he puts up stats, and that's all that matters in fantasy football is the points. And last season, he averaged 16 points per game and had 268 points total. Keep in mind, this is my prediction for the next season and how they're going to rank at the end of the season. And Tony Romo will be at number 6 because he has the easiest schedule among quarterbacks. Number 7, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan averaged 18 points per game, 289 points total last season, and in my opinion, Matt Ryan's a very underrated fantasy football quarterback. Everyone is, fathoming over the Matthew Stafford, Colin Kaepernick, Russell Wilson, Cam Newton, Tom Brady, rounding out the top 5 there. But Matt Ryan's a very good quarterback. He's still young. He's still got a lot of years ahead of him. Tony Romo, kind of in the same category, not really talked about, but he still puts up stats and numbers, which all that really matters in fantasy football. My number 8 fantasy football quarterback out of the top 10 is Matthew Stafford. He averaged 16 points per game, had 263 points total, and along with Matt Ryan, Matthew Stafford is a great quarterback. He passed for over 5,000 yards last season. He has the best receiver in the NFL, Calvin Johnson, Megatron, and he could just easily throw the ball downfield whenever he wants to hit Calvin Johnson for a touchdown because Calvin Johnson has such a great vertical reach, and Matthew Stafford has such a good arm for a young quarterback. My number 9 fantasy football quarterback for 2013, which is kind of a bold prediction because he hasn't really proven himself yet besides playing just about 7 games last season once Alex Smith went out with injury, but Colin Kaepernick. He averaged 12 points per game and 166 points total in just 7 games. So that's a great, outstanding number. He came in, had over half of what starting quarterbacks like Matthew Stafford and Matt Ryan did throughout the entire season. So I really like Colin Kaepernick at number 9 this season. You should definitely pick him up if you have the chance. He's not going to go in the first 2 to 3 rounds. So if he's there in the 4th round and you don't have a quarterback, go after Colin Kaepernick. And my number 10 fantasy football quarterback for 2013 may come as a surprise to you guys. I had a real tough time debating this one, and I ended up going with someone who I really enjoy watching, and that is Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is a great quarterback. He's fast. He's mobile. He can throw the ball downfield. He has a great arm. Plus, he has the addition of Percy Harvin. He has Marshawn Lynch in the backfield if he wants to throw into the backfield for him. Get some screen passes in those PPR leagues for you guys. But Russell Wilson last season started all 16 games. He averaged 16 points per game and had 267 points total as a rookie, which made him the 2nd highest fantasy football quarterback for rookies last season behind only Andrew Luck. So like I said, I had a debate putting number 10 in there, Russell Wilson. At first I had RG3, and then I was like, you know what? I don't know if RG3 is going to play an entire season. I don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1. So I'm going to put in Russell Wilson. I don't think Andrew Luck is going to be as good as he was last season. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Not everybody's right. This is my own opinion. You have your own opinion. But yeah, this is my top 10. I have Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning at number 2, Drew Brees number 3, Tom Brady number 4, Cam Newton number 5, Tony Romo number 6, Matt Ryan number 7, Matthew Stafford number 8, number 9 is Colin Kaepernick, number 10 is Russell Wilson, Joe Flacco just missed the cut, Andrew Luck just missed the cut, RG3 just missed the cut. So I apologize for you guys who are big fans of them. Keep in mind, fantasy football, I'm not basing this off of overall play styles and just the player themselves overall. I'm basing this off of fantasy football. How many points will they produce? I'm not going to give you that prediction because that is a very, very tough prediction to give you. I'm not going to be like, I think this player is going to get 300 some, fantasy points this season. Go pick them up. I can't promise you anything. I'm not going to do that to you guys. I'm just giving you guys a rundown of the top 10 fantasy football quarterbacks. So when it comes draft time, because I know this is when drafts start getting really big, the beginning of August, late July, maybe even mid-August, these are the guys you want to look for. Tony Romo, I'm telling you guys right now, this is a bold prediction, and this is completely true. Tony Romo will not be taken, will probably be the 10th quarterback taken, because people don't like his clutch factor. They don't like how he throws the ball. He costs them games. But winning doesn't matter in fantasy football. If you're looking to win money in your league and you're looking to get $1,000 out of it, grab Tony Romo as your quarterback. He puts up points every single season for fantasy football. He's a great player to have. He's one of the more underrated fantasy football players, and he has the easiest schedule among quarterbacks this season, so there's no doubt in my mind that you should go after Tony Romo in maybe the 7th round if he's there, 6th round maybe if you don't have a quarterback. Don't pick him as your second quarterback. If you have a Matt Ryan before him, if you have a Colin Kaepernick before him, do not go after Tony Romo. Tony Romo should be your primary quarterback. He'll get you points every single game. Along with Russell Wilson, Colin Kaepernick, Matthew Stafford, and Matt Ryan, those quarterbacks also are great quarterbacks to have as your primary quarterback. You don't want them as your backup. So this was my video. I just wanted to give you guys a special video, top 10 fantasy football quarterbacks for all your fantasy football fans out there. I'm a big fantasy football fan myself. I have a big league coming up soon. I finished 4th place last year. I was kind of new to it, really. This was only my I'm going into my 3rd season of fantasy football. I'm only 17 years old, and I almost won the big money, which would have been great. But yeah, this is my special video, top 10 fantasy football quarterbacks. I have my top 10 fantasy football running backs coming to you guys soon, exclusively on Pro Football exclusive. I'll have standard leagues, not PPR leagues, and then I'll have your PPR league. PPR league really changes things up. You may get half a point for your running backs. You may get a full point. But I just wanted to give you guys a rundown. This is going to be a series. I'll give you my top 10 receivers in standard and PPR. I'll give you my top 10 kickers, my top 10 defenses, and my top 10 tight ends. I apologize. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below. Who is your number 1 fantasy football quarterback? Who do you think should be in the top 10? Leave down in the comments below. I really want to see your guys' opinions. I hope you're enjoying content here at Pro Football Exclusive. We put out great content every day for you guys with our team previews and our top 32 quarterback rankings, and now our top 10 fantasy football quarterbacks and players at each position. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is Roman with Pro Football Exclusive. Like, comment, favorite, subscribe. It only takes a second. Have a great day.